Hello everybody, welcome, MrRedClaw. Welcome back to an episode of Formula 1 2021, my team career. This time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Before we get into it, why not head down below, like and subscribe, because it does help a lot. And let's get right into qualifying. Okay, so here I am out for my flying lap around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in, of course, Canada. Formula 1 hasn't visited this place since 2019. Of course, it was cancelled in 2020 and this year again because of course, COVID-19. So it is a shame. I actually enjoy this circuit a lot. It's definitely one of my favourites, if not probably my favourite. It just has everything. Sector 1 is kind of really technical. If you get it right, it's absolutely perfect. Sector 2, of course, good overtaking, and then of course into Sector 3, probably the easiest place to overtake if you get the right speed, and if the car in front of you doesn't have DRS as well, you just fly past them into the final two corners. Of course, the Wall of Champions on the right over here. Let's see how close we get to it this time. Yep, quite close, but didn't touch it, which is good. And we cross the line, and it is going to be P13, so definitely quite a good qualifying session for us. Just over 1.1 seconds away from pole position, so not too bad. So let's see what we can do in the race.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Lando Norris, and Perez, Leclerc, Stroll, Tsunoda, and Carlos Sainz, Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Red and Gasly, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Kimi Raikkonen, Russell, Lundgaard, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are lined up in P13 on the grid. Alonso to our right, Vettel right in front of us, and we have Ocon behind. It is lights out and away we go. We get a decent launch, but the second phase is not that good and we are losing time, but we send it down the inside, just about avoid Alonso over there and get past. Try go around the outside, but we just don't have enough aero on the car yet to make a move like that work properly and every single time. There's quite a lot of action over here. Gasly got past us, but we're going to try and send it down the inside once more. Just about make it. Are we going to make it? He's still on the inside. He kind of stays there. I kind of thought he'd back out, and there was some contact over there. Actually, Gasly pits along with Leclerc. I'm pretty sure Leclerc got some damage in the first lap over there. So as we move on to lap 2, as we look for a move down the inside of Alonso, down into turn 1, and we do make it work. He's still in there, but we go around this time, and this time it works. So we move up to P10, so points already. Lap 4, Sainz is on our radar. We got a really good launch out of the hairpin. He goes defensive so we can take the racing line, and of course that's going to be a lot faster. And we move on to lap 5, where we go down the inside of Tsunoda, down. I'm pretty sure that is turn, what was that, turn 4, maybe turn 5, not too sure actually. As we move on to lap 6, Verstappen pits. Now, there was a chance of rain, and it was meant to come around, well, just about a third way through the Grand Prix, so I kind of took that into account, and as you can see, the clouds are coming in on lap 8. People are starting to pit, but just for regular tyres, and more people pitting over here on lap 9, and we take the lead first time around, which is quite fun for us. But of course, I'm not going to fight Lewis over there, as he is just so much faster. Of course, Mercedes, the fastest car in my save. Now, it is starting to rain, but this is where it kind of starts getting messy, this race. My team on the radio, Jeff, said that it was meant to stay kind of like this for the next 10 minutes, and then it would stop completely. So I was there like, well, okay, I'll make this work. This isn't that much rain. I'll lose a couple seconds per lap on these old softs, but so I was like, well, okay, it's gonna stay like this. Jeff said on the radio, I can't check the weather forecast whilst I'm racing at 300 kilometers an hour, so I box in for a second set of softs. I was actually meant to go from softs to mediums, so I was meant to do a 2-stop, but I said, well, it was raining, so the softs are going to help me get more grip in the rain. So I changed my kind of strategy in my head from softs to mediums to softs to mediums. So I was there like, well, this should work, as we exit a pit in P12, and as we come out on the same lap, I'm pretty sure the DRS gets disabled, and you know that's basically time to put on the wet tyres, and we get a really nice move down the inside of Schumacher. Definitely wasn't intentional, I just misjudged my braking zone over there. And as you can see, the end of lap 12, it is raining a lot more. I have no grip on these tyres, but whilst I was going down the straight over there, Jeff said that it would get better, and well, I thought, well, maybe it will, maybe it won't, and I stayed out a lap too long on the softs. Now, Ricciardo stayed out as well. I'm pretty sure someone in first place stayed out as well, but I'm not too sure. Verstappen comes past us, Vettel comes past us on the intermediates. I send it down the inside, but as you can see, I just have no grip. I lose it and have to just cut the corner because I just couldn't go past. So at this time, I thought, well, I really messed up, and we need to go in for the intermediates. As you can see, I just have no grip anywhere, just losing places left, right and centre to basically everyone. Tsunoda has made the same mistake and has stayed out on the medium, so that's even worse for him. So I go in, kind of play it safe not to get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, to kind of brake a little bit earlier than I needed to, but I thought, just play it safe, we can still maybe claw it back, as we are now in 9th place, but of course people are going to be passing us who are already on the intermediates. So we get past, we get overtaken by Verstappen in the pit lane, and we get out, what is it going to be, P17? Let's see if we can get past George Russell over here. I don't think so. It's going to be P16 as we just come ahead of Raikkonen. Now, I was stuck behind Russell for quite some time. Now, I had to make this move as I felt that I was a lot faster than him, but I was just making no progress from him, as on lap 17, Nicholas Latifi is out of this race, and later on in the lap, we actually get a virtual safety car, actually a full safety car, as our teammate Christian Lundgaard is out of this race, which is, well, quite interesting. And in a little bit, yep, Kimi Raikkonen is out of this race as well, so that is down to 19 people, which is, well, kind of good for us, but they're all behind us. Now, this is probably the biggest mistake I make in this, or one of the biggest mistakes I make during this race. I spun over there, so during the restart I was nowhere near Verstappen, so I couldn't even make a move on him down into turn 1 over here. I literally just caught up to him over there. Lap 21, send it down the inside of Verstappen. Can we get past Sainz as well? We get the outside line, he kind of barges past into us, and he gets past us, but luckily we get past the Mazepin's over there. Wasn't really the best place for him. I literally had nowhere to go. I couldn't have, braken any earlier because I didn't see Mazepin at the time over there, so I had to cut the corner. Luckily, we actually didn't even get a warning over there, which is quite weird, but Luckily no penalty over there, as another yellow flag over there, not really sure what's going on. Now, lap 22, people are pitting for another set of intermediates. Now I thought, no, they're actually pitting for slicks now. It does look quite rainy still, quite wet, but people are actually pitting in for the slicks now, which is a mistake. I should have really just pitted back then, it would have been fine. But we didn't, we stayed out one extra lap on the intermediates, another mistake in this race made by us, but really it kind of stemmed from Jeff just telling us that it would rain it would stop raining a lot earlier and it wouldn't rain so hard. Now as you can see over there, I'm not really sure what happened, but I think Nikita Mazepin must have got entangled with someone or just lost into the final corner, and he's kind of stayed in between the pit lane, the pit exit, and the pit entry and the final corner of the circuit. Now he was stuck there from about lap 21 where we saw the yellow flags all the way until the end. I literally had no idea what happened to him. Every time I came down here I saw him trying to kind of get out, but he just couldn't. I think the AI was just confused. Now as you saw over there, we had to get our nose changed. I'm really not sure what happened over there. The drivability of the car was perfect, so it must have been a small chip on someone over there, but that did cost us a couple of places over there. Now as you can see over here, we apparently get blue flags, but that is actually for Mazepin, who is still stuck in the final corner. It was kind of being messed up, I'm not really sure, quite buggy over here. As on lap 34, so from lap about 27 where we've got past Schumacher to lap 34, I was one of the fastest, if not the fastest, drivers on circuit, which is kind of insane, seeing we are in the kind of like 4th slowest car or something like that. But we got past Alonso on lap 34. Now, I actually just found out right now, as we got past him, that Perez had a 5-second time penalty. And if I wanted to get any points this race, I would have had to get past Verstappen. And this was probably the last chance for us to get past him. And we do get past him. Now we just need to stay within 5 seconds of Perez ahead, which will be easy enough. Verstappen is trying to get past us, but we do have DRS from Perez, and we actually ran out of ERS, but luckily our car is just about fast enough to stay ahead. And there might be P11 on the circuit, but with that penalty with Perez, it's P10. It could have definitely been in the top 5, but I guess that 1 point is kind of a little bit of a reward for us for that quite dramatic race.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So there we go, P10 for us at the end of the race, with Pierre Gasly just ahead of us, because of course Sergio Perez got that penalty. Lewis Hamilton wins from Bottas from Norris over there, and Bottas, well, Hamilton actually needs to start winning quite a lot more, because he's actually third in the driver standings now, behind Verstappen and behind Bottas, who is just has nearly double points of Verstappen over there. We actually dropped down a place in the constructor standings to Alpine, as they did have a decent race, of course, with Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Actually, Ocon only scored, but it was a P6, so good enough for them to overtake us in the constructor standings. But for now, that is going to be it. A very interesting race. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.